Hi freshmen, thanks for watching this video. So in class this week, we are going to fill out the Fences essay outline. And so that part should be pretty easy as far as that's really the bones of your paper. We're going to do the thesis statement. That's like the most important sentence of your paper. And then the two topic sentences to go with your two body paragraphs. If you've done the dialectical journals, you have the evidence that you need, and you'll just need to kind of transfer over the evidence and the analysis so that your body paragraphs are essentially done. One thing that we didn't have time for in class, and I've told you this, is for me to show you and tell you and teach you how to write the introduction and conclusion paragraph. Okay, so we kind of went out of order. I wanted to spend the time in class doing the really important parts of your essay, which would be, again, the thesis statement and the elements of your body paragraphs. That doesn't mean, though, that you can't just leave off an introduction paragraph and then also a conclusion paragraph. So again, with the format, and this is on the actual essay outline, I guess, and I gave this to you in a pink packet. You'll have an introduction paragraph, which will be pretty short, with your thesis statement at the end. Then you'll have two body paragraphs and then a really short conclusion. Okay, so this video is for you to see how to write both of those paragraphs. Okay, so I don't know if you want to take notes on this or if you just want to screenshot this as I'm talking you through it for you to be able to reference. I think that would be a good idea to get your phone out and go ahead and just snap a picture of both of these. Okay, or you can keep watching my video and keep it up as you write so you can refer back to it. Okay, there's really three elements that go into your introduction paragraph. Okay, one of them is the first sentence. The first element is just an attention getter or a hook. And it's one sentence. I gave you three options for this. You could start your essay with another quote. So if you're going through your packet and you pulled really great quotes, but none of them really, or a couple of them might not match the question that you are going to write your essay on, but you still really like the quote, you could start the essay with that quote. We're going to start really broad when we start an introduction paragraph. But we do want people to continue reading our essay, so starting with a quote is a good way to get them to read the next sentence. Okay, so I just gave you an example. Rose loves you. Maybe that would be how you start the discussion of the play. Okay, you could also ask a question and then provide an answer. So you might say it's something related to your essential question that you're writing on, like, is it common for people to put up walls for various reasons? The answer is yes, and then go into the rest of it. You could ask, isn't it true that we want to be better than our parents? Sometimes. So you ask a question and then provide an answer is a nice way to start an essay. Or you could just do a short, choppy, kind of jarring sentence that is interesting, like inequality has always and will always exist. That would be a really interesting statement for people to read to make them want to keep reading your essay. Okay, so I'll even fix that. Inequality has always and will always exist. That's kind of an interesting, intriguing sentence. Okay, so you're going to pick one of those. I guess you could do two if you really wanted to. This only needs to be one sentence, this attention getter or hook. Okay, so a quote, ask a question and provide an answer, or a short, choppy, jarring sentence. After that, then you're going to provide some background knowledge. Okay, you have to assume that me, Mrs. Nance, has not read Fences. So you need to do some of the background knowledge for me. So it says, what is the issue, who is involved? Basically, that is, what's the play you read, who's the author, what's kind of the background, what do we need to know about the play in general before we kind of narrow it down to this, to your thesis statement. Okay, you could connect to the play, 1950s Black urban culture. You could talk about, this is written by August Wilson, and he was a famous playwright who centered his writing on the African American experience in the 1950s through this play. You could say that it's been turned into a film. Denzel Washington has been an actor on stage and in the film for this play. Any kind of background information you want to involve after your attention getter and before your thesis. Okay. Finally, your thesis statement. Your thesis statement just needs to be your answer to the question. So you have this attention getter, you provide some background knowledge for the play as a whole, and then you're going to get really narrow and you're going to really center on that thesis statement. Now, we wrote this in class, but this is where you will put it in. So it says, answer the question you have selected and provide reasons, which will be the topics for your paragraphs. Okay, and we've done this in class, so you're just going to type it right in or copy and paste it over into your essay. All right, so then you're going to write your two body paragraphs. Again, we drafted those in class. We wrote that on the outline. And then you need to provide a conclusion paragraph. This is also a very short paragraph, maybe 3, no more than 5 sentences. Basically, you're going to restate your thesis in a slightly different way. It says don't copy your thesis word for word. I want you to try to find a slightly different way to say it. That will be the first sentence of your conclusion paragraph. So when you think about the introduction, we start really broad, and then we kind of narrow down to a point. And then the conclusion, we start at a really narrow point, restating your thesis, and end very broadly. Okay, so we kind of come back out, we step back out from it. Okay, so find a slightly different way to restate your thesis. Then spend a sentence or two kind of reviewing some of the main points you made, or some last minute things you want to say that you didn't really have a way to say it, but now you want to. Okay, and then when you end your paper very broadly at the very end, we want to have like this big kind of universal message we want to communicate. Here are some options for that. You can call people to action, me, your reader of your essay, to action. So what would I need to do now that I've read this essay and I've considered what you've proven? What should I do now to make changes in our society or make changes in my own life? You could end with another quote. You could actually end with the same quote that you started your essay with, and with a little bit of maybe a couple sentences describing, like, obviously this is now a much more relevant quote now that you've read my essay, something like that. And then you could also do a cause and effect, if then. So, if we don't attempt to make our lives better than our parents, then we're doomed to repeat the past. Okay, that would be an interesting and intriguing and really sophisticated way to end your paper. So these are the main points for conclusion, main points for introduction. I am not sharing this document with you, so you either need to take a picture of it or refer back to my video here when you're going to write this so that you know exactly what to do. Okay, so this is a 4-paragraph essay: introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. These are your notes on intro and conclusion, and hopefully in class I'll have set you up well for the body paragraphs, which is really where you put in that evidence and connect back to your thesis and do all the things we've kind of been building on in class anyway. Okay, hope you're having a great week, and I definitely want to make sure that you know that you are allowed to and able to read the book that you checked out from the library in class. It's good to get our eyes off of the computer, and we will be doing more work with that in the next couple of weeks, that book. So feel free to get a head start on it should you find some time in which to do so. Hope you're staying well, and I'll again talk to you soon. Bye-bye.